What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Caden, or Cantina Comics, and today we're going to be ranking every single live-action Green Lantern suit that we've gotten throughout the years. If you're new around here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers by the time that Lanterns releases in August. In this video, there are suits from the 70s up until now, so without further ado, let's start off with our honorable mentions. Now, I don't even know if I'm going to count these two as honorable mentions, because we don't actually see them in a suit. I'm still going to mention these though, because I know I'm going to get comments about them, and that being Jenny, aka Jade from Stargirl Season 2, and she never got a suit. We only saw her use the ring a couple of times. Next, we have Alan Scott from Season 9 of Smallville. Again, this is just another one of those, we never saw him in the suit. We did see him having the ring on. We did get a tease at the end of that episode though, where we saw his mask, we saw his ring, as well as his power battery, and that was it. And now onto our real honorable mentions. We have Obsidian from DC's Legends of Tomorrow. He isn't in the Green Lantern Corps, but he's part of the Lantern family with Jade, as well as Alan Scott, so I figured I'd still mention him and his suit. I really like the suit that he has, but to me, the downside is the leather. I don't know what it is. I'm just a big hater of leather superhero suits, especially when it's not done right. I'm looking at you, Arrow. Now onto our final honorable mention. We have Sinestro from the 1979 Legion of Superheroes 2-part TV special. He does have two suits in this, one being the purple with the baby blue, and then we also see a red and purple variant of this, which, to be honest with you, I think I prefer the red and purple variant over the purple and blue, but I like these designs. They're comic accurate, they're simple, and they're definitely from their time. They're dated for sure, and I don't think they hold up to any other suits on this list. Alrighty, moving on to the main list, we have Hal Jordan's suit from the Legion of Superheroes special that I had just mentioned. Along with Sinestro's design, this suit doesn't really hold up today, but it's extremely accurate and I love how it looks. I also can't believe that we actually got the white gloves. This might be one of the only suits on this list that actually has them incorporated, so it's gonna get some brownie points from me because of that. And for the time, I'm sure that fans were pleased with this design. Next, at the number 9 spot, we have Guy Gardner's blue suit. Yes, you did hear me right. It's blue. This is from the 1997 Justice League of America pilot that really didn't go anywhere after this. And for the time, I'm really surprised that we have a Green Lantern in this. We have Guy Gardner out of all the Green Lanterns too, which is cool, but his suit is blue. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. And I don't even know if they did either, because in the marketing, they had it switched to look green. With that though, Guy does have the white gloves, which I love. He also has his leather jacket with the sleeves cut off. And for some reason, he has a Kyle Rayner looking mask. And if you look closely, you can also tell here that he is wearing a black turtleneck. I'm not kidding. And the suit really stands out against those green constructs. I don't know why they just didn't stick with the green. And for this being Guy Gardner, we didn't get his classic bowl cut. Lastly, I don't know what their plan was with this Green Lantern logo. It looks very off to me. Moving on to the number 8 spot, we have John Diggle's unused Green Lantern suit from the Arrowverse. I wish we could have got to see this on screen. I hate that we only have it in concept art. If DC would have gotten their shit together with the rights, we could have gotten to see this. At the same time though, it was the CW, so I don't know if I trust them to do it right. With that being said, I don't really like this suit, but as far as modern suits go, and I use that term loosely, this isn't the worst thing ever. I really hate the leather jacket though, as well as the helmet and the gun. The boots and pants are okay, I guess, but again, just not at all what I would have wanted for a Green Lantern suit. The one thing I do like about this though is the shade of green that they had used, but that's really about it. At the number 7 spot, and in a giant leap forward, we have Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner suit from Superman as well as Peacemaker. This suit was literally so close to being perfect, and they f***ed it up. I don't know how, but they did. I don't really like this design. I understand why it is the way it is. It's a uniform like Mr. Terrific and Hot Girls for Maxwell Lord's Justice Gang. It has the Lortec logo. They're all supposed to look unified and together. I totally get it, and I'm behind that full-heartedly. I'm also okay with the use of leather here, which is weird. I normally am not. And I also really love the green and white with this, but there is an edit out there online of what the suit could have, or maybe even should have looked like, and I can't help but feel kind of robbed. Like, this is literally perfect. One of my biggest gripes with Guy Gardner in the DCU was his bowl cut. It's almost strawberry blonde, not even ginger. Can we please just get him his actual hair color? I don't want to seem like a hater here. I really love James Gunn Superman and his DCU so far, and I really love Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I just feel like they missed the mark with the suit entirely. And if we would have gotten all this from the get-go, I don't think fans would have complained at all about how he looked. Again, I don't hate the suit though. I like it for what it is, and I understand why we have it. Moving on to the number 6 spot, we have Yellinger's suit from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I really love the look of this suit. It takes inspiration from how he looks in the comics and updates it and translates it almost perfectly without overdoing it. He is pretty goofy and a pretty goofy looking Green Lantern in the comics, but they did him justice in the Snyder Cut. It wasn't over the top, and honestly this redesign really worked for me. I love the cape, I love the shiny metal look, while also incorporating the scaly skin texture that he had in the comics, but actually for the armor on his bodysuit. Also, we gotta talk about the Lantern logo coming out of the chest. This is so sick. I'm so glad we got this. And then moving on to the number 5 spot, we have Hal Jordan's suit from Lanterns. We just got our first real look at the suit in Monday's teaser 2 trailer, and it looks a lot better from when it was hanging up in the closet. We can tell here that it's actually not brown, it's olive green. And with that, we also had a flashback shot in the trailer, and you could tell that it's really green here. It's vibrant, it's saturated. I guarantee this is gonna be the classic Green Lantern suit, and over time, it's probably gonna become more dirty and darker and get that olive green that we've seen in this trailer. Kyle Chandler had also said that Hal Jordan will have his mask. We haven't seen it yet, but we're gonna get it, which is awesome. As well, we're probably gonna see him in multiple suits. We know he has multiple ones hanging up from that first teaser, so we're probably gonna see the evolution of this suit. Before you go to the comments talking about how this isn't comic accurate and the suit manifests itself in the ring, I mean, you're right, it does. But also, it can be hung up and taken off. We've seen it before. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this up on the screen right now. We can see behind Hal Jordan here, his suit hanging up in a clothes hanger in his closet. Yes, the ring can manifest the suit and make it, but also sometimes it can be taken off and hung up like normal clothes, which I really like. I'd rather have a practical suit that can be hung up and worn on set than having an actor walking around in the mocap suit. We've seen the fully CG suits in the MCU, we don't need it here. Hopefully though, people will stop complaining with this. I don't think it's a big deal. Moving on to the number 4 spot, we have a combination of 2 suits, and that being the Green Lantern suits from George Miller's canceled Justice League Mortal. The first one we have here is not worn by Common. From what I was able to gather, he was not available for the costume fitting for this, so they had to stand in for it, and you can tell. This guy's white, he has black hair, this definitely is not Common. And then here is the second suit. And take this with a giant grain of salt, please. It took me forever to actually find this. It very well could be fan-made, and it's literally perfect. Almost too perfect. And that's why I'm kind of thinking this very well could be fake. So again, please take this with a grain of salt. And with that, I'm gonna move back to the first suit that we had seen, just because this is a real photo. We know that this suit is real. And with this concept art one, I have no clue if it actually is or not. Alrighty, I love the black and green with this suit. They did it perfectly, along with how they incorporated the boots. The one thing that's leaving me scratching my head is, what are these bracers on his wrist? These are kind of gold looking, and I don't know what they were doing here. They could have just given him the white gloves, or not. I don't know why he had these on. But besides that, I think the suit is kind of peak. I love almost everything about it, and it's a shame we're never going to see this come to light of day. Moving on to the number 3 spot, we have Ryan Reynolds' suit from Green Lantern 2011. I never understood the hate for this suit. The movie, sure, I have a lot of issues with it, but they also did a lot for the Green Lantern lore and incorporating that and showing it on screen, which is something that we haven't really gotten since. I'm hoping Lanterns will incorporate more of those elements. And for a suit that's being manifested by a ring, this is awesome. It feels exactly like that. This doesn't feel like a real practical suit like the Lanterns one, and that's because this is entirely CG. It was never real to begin with. But with that, this suit feels like it's a living organism. We can literally almost see it breathing. I wish we could have got the white gloves with this suit, as well as not making his toes outlined. I don't know why they did that. He could have just had boots, but we never really see it, so it's not really a big complaint on my end. This suit also kind of emits like a green aura around Ryan Reynolds when he's flying, and I don't think we're getting this anymore with Lanterns, which kind of sucks. I love this in the DC AU with Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I wish we would get this again, but I understand why we're not. A lot of the hate for this movie is justified. I don't think the hate for the suit is. This is exactly how a Green Lantern suit should feel, in my opinion. It isn't perfect, but they definitely didn't f it up either. Moving on to the number 2 spot, we have yet again another fully CG suit, and that being Wayne T. Carr's suit from the Snyder Cut. This suit is insane, especially for being a fully CG one. It looks real. I know it's a photo, but it looks real and practical. They have the green and black here without it being too over top, without it being leather, and it doesn't look like a metallic metal either like Iron Man. I really love this suit. It's a shame we never got to see this in the movie. I'm glad we got Martian Manhunter's cameo at the end, but I really wish the original version with this cameo would have stayed. And with this Green Lantern logo, we can see here it's a lot like Yellen's, how it's projected outward, and I really like how it looks. And with the suit, there isn't any gloves at all, but at the end of the day, that's fine. This suit works perfectly for me as well. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have Mark Strong's suit as Sinestro in 2011's Green Lantern. I'm also talking about his suit at the end of the film, but I'm also going to talk about his main one. This takes Ryan Reynolds' suit and improves it in every way. I love how the torso looks with the belt. It feels very Spider-Man-esque. There's still a lot of lines everywhere, but it doesn't feel over the top. And honestly, it feeling like it's alive is toned down a little bit, and it really works. Also too, he has a collar here, it's sick. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. And weirdly enough, it also feels a little bit more form-fitting. And to be honest, my real pick is honestly his Yellow Lantern suit at the end, not this green one. This is perfect. I couldn't ask for a better Sinestro suit. Hopefully we get one of Lanterns, but this is awesome. It's a shame Mark Strong never got to reprise his role as Sinestro, but at the same time, he's got to play like 3 or 4 DC villains. I don't really think he's complaining all that much. I know the suit won't be everyone's favorite, and that's fine. This is my list. And like I said with the previous suit, I keep going back and forth between these two. I can't really decide. Tomorrow it'll be Wayne, and the next day it'll be Sinestro's, and I'll be back to Wayne's. I honestly just can't make up my mind. But with all that being said, that was my ranking. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Go ahead and drop it. I really love the Lanterns trailer. If you want to see my reactions to it, go ahead and click up here. But without further ado, it's been Caden, or Cantina Comics, and I will see you all in the next one.